games of the future with our mobile category in Mobile Legends. My name is Dian, of course, with LaFell here at the helm casting these games. We've got Dian, Feng, Guai currently on blue side facing off against Entity 7 on the red side. The current score, 1-1.
Well, here's the thing, Gideon. I feel like for both teams, either they want to go to the bottom side of the bracket or not. Depends on when the Team Spirit gets over to Gotf, because Team Spirit is in the low bracket and the loser will fight against them. If Team Spirit could not make it in time, then sure, they will get a free pass over to qualify. But you know, it's hard to hope for that thing. But anyways, Guai is going to be blue side first pick here. Then we got Fanny, Selena, as well as Keto. I'm guessing they're like, okay, we're going to use it, we really don't want them to use it. So none of Marcel as well as Freya has been banned out by NT7.
Understandably so, and I think that now that the family has been banned out, Guai doesn't seem to be changing their ways to the drafting patterns other than just a Keto at this stage of the game. I think that NT7 now kind of see the holes that they could potentially actually find in the draft itself. The Rara gets banned out, I'm all for it, but I was hoping that Guai was going to play on a blue side from the get-go. I'm surprised they gave it up in game number 2. Now coming into game number 3, let's see what the first pick is going to be.
The position is up, but instead they go for the Barats instead. I feel like at 7 they can pick up the Zushin plus either Atlas or the Bellic here, or Atlas Valentina could work as well. I feel like, yeah, this Barats is less on Fish God being amazing again number 1, and more like they don't want to deal with Kashi on this Barats again.
I think that's a totally fair argument. I think it's going to be like Valentina Atlas here for the side of Entity 7. That would make the most amount of sense, unless it really depends on Bagrin and what he's more comfortable with. Personally speaking, I think that Atlas generally is kind of a must pick up at this stage of the game. A lot of the fights ends up where you're chasing your opponents down. That's where Atlas really, really shines, right? Finding these big mini stuns in the middle of the fights, and not to mention has one of the best setting tools in the game. And having, once again, Shin on this Valentina, he performed really well when Bellic was on the opposite side. I would only imagine this is going to be the same case with Guai.
Yep. So now they do pick up the Melissa, which, is more long style anyways. Plus, this does mean that you can kind of build around Melissa by having quite a lot of utility around her, just so that she can free hit. The only thing that you have to be careful of is Akashi uses something like a Yuzong, like a Lapu to dive for her, but other than that, you should be pretty good. But now Zed picks up the Cho, which is kind of one of his signatures, but I feel like showing him early does make it so that NT7 can draft around it.
Yeah, I think the whole entire purpose of this is to kind of force whatever matchup in the gold lane to actually get Purify out of them, right? I think that's kind of the only purpose that they want to show these 3 particular picks very early on. We want to disincentivize you from actually playing a traditional assassin in the jungle. And now that kind of Hirara is out of the way, as well as Fanny, we see the Harith pick up for the side of Entity 7. Nobody is surprised about that, but now the second half is where it gets interesting. A lot of the bans, I think, is going to be targeted towards the EXP for the side of Guai to make sure that their mid laner is a little bit safer. For Entity 7, it's all about getting rid of mid laners.
I think maybe betting on something like Alice would be safe enough, because it does okay against Barats. I mean, like, okay, it's just surviving, right? But I think Alice, based on her range, she should be able to reach the Melissa. At least that's what I think. I haven't fought against a lot of Melissa, so I'm actually not entirely sure.
You can, yes. You can without getting, punted away at the bare minimum. The Throne of Ruin is pretty gigantic. It's very, very large. It covers a pretty decent-sized area, not to mention that even if Melissa does get hit by it, she still has to go away from me, which can get punished by Atlas if, you charge Fiddlings long enough. Ooh, okay, Lancelot back here. Feel interesting.
I mean, it makes sense in the sense that Lancelot was one of those heroes that can get through the goalway. But honestly, he doesn't have to get through. He just needs to hit his second ability on Melissa, and that should be good enough. But yeah, I agree with you. Very interesting.
Yeah, or just look the one-shotter with Lapu something that has some anti-CC to kind of cut through to get away from me. It's a decent amount of burst damage, and obviously it's not going to like scale all the way to the late game, but for the earlier stages, as long as you get that snowball going, that should be more than enough. I'm hoping for another mid laner here on the side of Entity 7. Instead they go for, actually, you know what? I like this more.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. And now for the final ban here. If they want to, I think a Nolan wouldn't be a bad ban. The other one, okay, maybe the Eastern Shin, because I feel like they have quite a lot of scaling on Entity 7. If they pick up Eastern Shin, it's going to be Choli.
I think they're going to get rid of
it. Looks like they're hovering Eastern Shin. They're thinking about banning him out.
Really? Really? Do they really need to worry about the Eastern Shin right here, right now? Especially since you've already got the Cho, right? So it's a pretty easy way to kind of zone him out. I think getting rid of something like Uranus would make a lot of sense, considering that majority of the damage on their composition as of right now is going to be on the MR side. But I guess they're just not worried about Akashi at this stage. They ban out the Suyo. They really want to limit down and pinch on the jungle options.
That's very interesting, because, I don't know, personally for me, I would let go of the Suyo, considering Suyo is still strong, but I feel like if you're able to get something like the Eudora, you should be able to deal with it. But now, they pick up the Ling, which I feel like a Eudora pick would be great here, and then in terms of the jungle, even a Saber wouldn't be super bad. It will be bad against Shin and Banguin, actually. I like the Saber, I just don't know against Atlas is it good enough.
No, I don't think so, unfortunately. I think the only good thing about Saber is the fact that he's got a little bit of shred. Unless they're going for like a double fighter comp, I suppose, but they still need something that actually scales. The Farsa doesn't sound like a bad idea, but it is pretty susceptible. Or a Yishin Shin?
No, it looks like they're picking up Farsa Yishin Shin here, and then the cameraman's like, oh wait, sorry guys, showing too much.
I don't know if it's showing too much. I don't mind it. I don't mind it that much, but at the same time, it'll be an interesting matchup, because if we're really thinking about it, I think that the mid lane is pretty straightforward. They just clear the wave really, really fast and pray that at least Zed doesn't get chunked out too hard before they walk away, and then Zed just has to hard farm. Same goes for Zhaoxi has to hard farm on this Yishin Shin, same as Hide on Bush.
I feel like they pick up this Yishin Shin as well as the Farsa. There's one clear theme here, Gideon, which is they want to farm very, very fast. I feel like they saw that Ling, and they're worried that the Ling is going to farm up faster than any other picks that they have. I would argue Nolan would be faster, but maybe they're not too confident on the Nolan, so they pick up this Yishin Shin as well as the Farsa. The Farsa should... I want to say should be able to deal with Entity 7, even though Akashi and Hide Bush can burst her down, but her job is for the early and mid, right? As long as you're able to make it so that Shin and Banguin is not a problem for the first 8 minutes, you've done your job.
I'll be real, I think Giwan is just a secondary shield to your boy in lowering it down on the gold lane. I think that he is going to rip that off as soon as possible to try and pull as much attention to himself, because that just seems to be the vibe that Giwan has been giving me throughout this entire series. But we'll never know who the winner is until they crack that base. We're going to head on in to our third game in our second series of the day. It's Feng Guai on the blue side facing up against Entity 7 here at match point.
So right now for Entity 7 as well as Feng Guai, I honestly just want to see, this is very interesting here. It looks like Doom is protecting Hide on Bush, and that's what I want to see. I want to see whether Entity 7 will be able to do a good enough job to protect their jungle. Because the thing about Ling is, it's pretty strong, but the problem is, they're early to mid. At that point, he's the weakest. You're able to invade his jungle, able to get the camps, but for now, it does look like he's pretty free. In fact, he might even get this little without any contest.
Yep. They're really selling this, and I love this play. I love this play a lot coming in from Entity 7, right? Because it's falsifying the information that they're giving over to Feng Guai. They're expecting him to start on this purple side, and then they realize, wait a minute, it's still back up. Now we have to move on to the top side, and they see that Little Wanderer is already down, and that means that they made a wrong call here. It didn't cost them much, but at the very least, it gives them now an idea of where this Ling is going to be, and they're expecting him to show up on bot side sooner rather than later.
Yep. So right now, Feng Guai, I honestly feel like they're not utilizing much of their comp just yet, but maybe they're just planning on fighting for that turtle, because having a turtle as well as the Farsight, you should be able to get a kill once Farsight is level 4, or even before. Banguin already forced out to use the flicker, so that's good. Oh, E1 gets the kill!
Okay, all right. I respect it. You know, you're still able to trigger enough damage to cause the passive of Farsa to actually get the snipe at the very end here, but now it just means that everybody else is going to be a little delayed, right? E7 trying to get their members to hit level 4 on time. They can actually get it from the mid lane here, and that's exactly what they're trying to do. A slowdown to play. Oh, God.
Zed is able to get away. That's one of the good things about a Cho is that even if you get caught, were you able to get away? But now Shin does have the Farsa ult here. The defended S-Strike is something that they have to be careful of. But now Chum, able to get one and able to take down Hide on Bush. Shin has to get away. But Xiaoxi is trading jungle for jungle here. Yuan not going to use the final hit on the Fed S-Strike against Turtle because probably 87 can steal that away. So smart coming in from both teams, not to take that 50-50, and decided to just let it go. Just reset it.
Yep. Honestly, pretty funny how these fights are actually going, because the mentality seems to be like a little bit different, right? It's like, okay, we stop the junglers, we take away the retribution, and then when they see their boy Hide on Bush get hit by the Detonator's Welcome, the first thought that Energy 7 said, you know what, we're gonna take out Zhao Shi in response to this, and they have to really force their way to get on top of him. So now they come back to this neutral state, and Detonator's Welcome, it's about to come back online, and both supports now having their ults as well is a really big difference. Way of the Dragon and Fatal Links now in play.
Yep. So now treatment is in, and definitely Guai has 2 kills over Entity 7's 1, and I feel like this is very tricky, Gideon, because technically both teams scale up quite well. The Ling is a good position 1, Zhao Shi being that Yushin is good position 1 as well. It's more about who gets who first. Speaking of who got who, looks like Fish God gets 1, but then what is the rest of the team doing? I mean, like, bro, you catch one, you kill that one.
Look, they're just watching the Odyssey. It's a 3-hour movie, dude. Not everybody has the attention span.
Oh my God! Atlas goes in. Akashi hits no one. Xiaoxi gets killed by Bangwin, and now Bangwin almost dies as well. Zed flickers forward, try to get onto Shin. Shin gets hit. E1 secures the kill, and Hide on Bush secures the turtle. Oh my God! I'm loving Mobile Legends Bang Bang.
No way, dude. What an insane engagement. Wow. I didn't think it would actually progress like that, to be fair. Oh,
Akashi? Akashi might get taken down here. Fish God secures the kill. Hide on Bush.
Wait, hold on a second. Is Yeon's ult tied to his feathered airstrike or his wings by wings? Because I think it's his wings by wings right now.
Yeah, because very, very slow, right? To recover. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, look at it go. It's like recharging really, really quick. I think it's the wings by wings, if I'm being perfectly honest right now. We'll keep an eye on that in just a little bit. But for now, at least we know the 2 big resources are gone. Shin does not have the flicker, so he's less incentivized to actually go for the Detonator's Welcome or the Way of the Dragon. Without that flicker, it's just no point. You might as well take the feathered airstrike. Bangwin also forcing it really, really hard in that previous fight. No flicker as well. This is something that Dian Guai should utilize. They should start invading. This is when they need to start to get a little bit braver to get some of the bigger spells out of Entity 7 prior to this upcoming turtle.
Yep. I do agree. You need to be a little bit braver, try to secure as much as they can, and now they even force out Doom to use the Zaman Force, making it easier for... Alright, never mind. I was going to say Lung is going to secure that, but I think Bangwin got it?
I think Bangwin got it as well. Oh boy, and Hide on Bush in his current item progression, he has the Berserker's Fury, now looking to finish his T2 boots, as Entity 7 have responded to Young. They weren't looking for first positions at all. They were invasions at the side. Now they're just making sure that this border is safe and that Duke can actually walk up, get frozen on. At this stage, he's want to start double waving Doom, but if he starts this Frieza is on the move, and you see Long, he's not wasting it.
I gotta say, by the way, right now for both teams, I'm not even being sarcastic. I don't know whether it's good or not for them to be playing this slow, because, like I said, yes, they can scale, but the scaling is pretty weird. And Akashi gets taken down by Yi1, and now Fish God looks like he's just gonna get away. Back to my point, I don't know if it's okay for them to play this slow for definitely and Entity 7. Speaking of, Hide on Bush takes a little bit of damage. Good flicker coming in from Zed. Still, I didn't know that interaction worked like that. Xiaoxi gets caught. Traceless out of the way, and now he's solo. He can't do much. Hide on Bush secures the turtle, tries to get away, but now for Shin so far looking pretty safe. Tries to get away. Fish God flickers forward. Looks like he's gonna get caught. Yi-Wan unstoppable. 5-0-1 on this far side.
And far, he's looking wrong, and Barry's been untouched. Yi-Wan, he's doing a much better job on this far side. This was the pick that costed them an international slot, and I don't know, made sure that he's at least very, very.
Well, right now, honestly, I think that Dian and Guai, even though they're in a very, very good spot, they still gotta respect when Hide on Bush gets the second item, which I thought was gonna be a Haas Claw, but it looks like Hide on Bush is saying that he might not have enough time. Oh wait, I think he's still going for that House Claw, because yeah, House Claw is pretty much necessary for him to survive going up against Dian Guai here.
Yeah, he's just trying to look to sustain for as long as he possibly can. And the Dominant Attack's finally completed by Vanguard. The anti-heal is going to be extremely useful in these fights. Endless battle, nowhere close for the side of Zhao Shi, and everybody else seems to be on track. The major lead that we are seeing is actually being developed by Doom at this stage of the game.
Yeah. Being over 500 over Lung is going to be pretty good. So I feel like Dian Guai, as long as Hide on Bush doesn't become a problem, I feel like they should be winning this out. And for Entity 7, if they're able to catch Zhao Shi first, that's basically it. Which jungler dies first is going to be good. Because we're seeing from minute 1, well, I would say minute 2, whenever they're fighting around the turtle, that's like the main thing everyone is going for, right? Everyone catch Hide on Bush, everyone catch Zhao Shi, and then after that, it's a free-for-all.
They just need to keep finding it out. Oh, all right. Is this going to be a punish onto Yi-Wan? It looks like it might if they commit everything, but they just want to hurt him. Just chunk him out. Take away a little bit of his HPs. They've already got first position here on that top side. Definitely Guai are holding back here. They don't need to be here at this stage of the game. They just need Zhao Shi to actually go for the full clear top to bottom.
Yeah. They're being very disciplined, and I'm not entirely sure if that's good or not.
I don't know,
because they have a lead, they have a Cho in the far side. I really feel like they could have started a lot of things, and now Vanguard able to get Zed able to figure it out, use the kick on to Hide on Bush, dies to Doom. But in the middle of that, Akashi dove right in and dies to Dian Guai. Right now for both teams, they start out, but it looks like it's a 1-for-1 for now. They're gonna continue on. Fish God looking forward. Not able to get much, but Shin has to flicker backward, but it looks like he was able to get the Daytona's welcome in that fight.
Yep, Fish God had to protect Yi-Wan. They don't want to give that free shutdown. It's 5-0-2. It's a pretty fat shutdown on Yi-Wan right now. Anybody can get him, and Akashi was able to close that distance. So, honestly, not a bad Detona's welcome coming in for Fish God. It's just sad that Dian Guai finally initiate and start off a play, but don't get anything from it. Did I just see Yi-Wan have a genius wand?
No, hold on. We gotta wait because we read. Oh wait, no, Yi-Wan does. Yeah, he does. He does have a genius one. Yes.
Interesting. All right, let's see whether or not this is gonna benefit him. Because now they're holding first position, and Ling, you can see him just hovering around that back line, making DFYG just feel like a little uncomfortable.
Yep. And now he understands he has to get away because Zed finally saw him, and they might try to get someone. Oh, flicker forward. Got one. Looks like able to get Shin. Shin gets taken down. And now Vanguard tries to fight back, but Fish God secures the kill. Akashi with the Bravest Spider. Unable to get anyone, not even Lung. Lung right now is surviving all this while. But finally gets taken down. Lung able to take down Akashi. Right now, it's only Hide on Bush, the only member from Entity 7 still alive. Definitely Guai starting off the board.
Very clean fight. Very clean fight as Yi-Wan was able to hit every shot of the Feathered Airstrike onto the correct targets. And now that they've got mega damage on their side, yeah, take it back. The Genius Wand worked out really nicely for them at the end of the day. Nobody can really walk up to Yi-Wan at this stage of the game except for maybe Akashi, but I think he's fallen too far behind. Now that he's got a second item, maybe there's an opportunity, but even then, we've seen multiple just great cancels from either Zed or Fish God to make sure Yi-Wan is always protected. Now the question is whether or not he's going to get extra aggressive, because as soon as he does, he will get punished for it. Hide on Bush, he finally has completed the endless battle on top of everything else, so he's got the raw damage to take Yi-Wan out.
Yeah. Honestly, I do gotta say, Genius 1, if the enemy has 3 tanky heroes, sure, it might feel bad, but against only 1, it actually feels pretty good, because the Genius one does make it so that one rotation of your skills, you're able to take down any damage dealer, which at this point, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 3 damage dealers. So it's looking pretty good for that Genius one build. Feng Guai, looks like they're not going to be moving with the Lord, letting Lord does his thing in mid, and just getting the outer turrets. Still pretty clean. Wait, you got a kill? What happened?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What?
He blasted somebody down with a feather airstrike, apparently.
Just hide on bush.
Yep.
It's hide on what?
Yep. I mean, I was thinking the exact same thing because he didn't have lightning truncheon. I would have imagined that he would have been able to survive, but I think he caught hide on bush just after the Finch hoist, and he even used the Tempest of Blade. So I just think that Yuan, he's just too strong right now.
Zed tries to get a kick. Unable to get one. Well, he got a kick. This not the one that you usually see in the highlights.
Hey, it's a zoning kick.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. That's the zoning kick.
Mm-hmm.
That was the macro play, not the micro play.
Yep.
See, the fact that Yuan killed hide on bush, it's kind of like the bird killing the stone. Do you get it?
Yep. It's look. Sometimes you need two birds. Sometimes you need two birds to be in position. But if it's one bird, the stone doesn't expect it. The stone is just like, what am I supposed to do? There's the other counterpart that's missing here. But this is working out very, very well. Like I got to give it a down for Guai. As much as I've been, clowning on them a little bit for some of the moves that they made. Right now, this is by far one of their cleaner games, and honestly, they feel more in sync, which is very, very good for not only the region but for them as a team. This is an all Chinese team, no imports on their side. So again, very risky moves to be playing without the imports, but still their showing here is looking very nice.
And hold on, Fedestra use. Vanguard dodges every one of those shots. I even saw a comment online asking why Ling hasn't been present for quite a while, and we're starting to see here where it's unfortunate, but the Ling is a bit slow in terms of farming as well as actually doing much in the early game, and there's basically no map presence. And now even gets locked down, and now enough damage. Zhao Shi kills hide on bush. Akash in the back trying to get Yuan. Yuan is still godlike, flickers out of there. Now look! Perfect go away, locks Akashi down, and now Doom tries to get away, able to get Zed on the way back. Now it's just two members, the Shin and Doom, while Feng Guai only lost Zed.
Oh, wait, they didn't get the punish! Oh my goodness, and now they might turn this around, at least for Doom. He's strong enough.
Well, Diamond Force use, able to get Fish God. Yuan gets away. Yep, a bird will still have a problem against a cat.
Oh man.
Meow meow or something like that.
Yeah, meow meow. I feel like Meow Guai kind of forgot what Aerith does. He's like, hey, he's got nothing to auto-attack reset on. Oh no, the minions! It's one of those things you just tend to forget. But right now, at least you know that Doom is strong. Doom has scale, and it's a 5v4. Zed, trying to look for the play.
Oh, Penguin tries to get somewhat actually able to get the Melissa. The position still okay on some of them for Zhao Shi. Shin secures it on Yuan and hide on Bush. Gets a kill, gets the Lord. Feng Guai, how did you throw this away?
Oh, they get the kill.
Well, Lung died, so,
No way, dude, no way, no way.
Wow.
How did Oh, if there was time for a replay, it'd be now. If there was time for a replay, it would be now, dude. That's so wild. Holy cow. So, the fight progresses, the feathered airstrike gets ripped, they manage to actually, defend themselves against the biggest combo from Vanguin, and yet, somehow, it really just came down to hide on Bush just one shot in the backline after all the spells have been used. There's really no excuse for this. For the side of Feng Guai, they had a full feathered airstrike uncancelled the entire time, so they just needed to be in a better position.
Definitely Guai cannot lose this one, because sure you can say, he hit his power spike and everything, but they're literally in the base, right? They should have been able to pace themselves and then eventually end the game, but now Lord is marching down bot. Lung has to be careful. Vanguin is going to try to get onto him. He does have that Purify, but now Shin getting that Fed Astra use just to clear the minions. for now, Definitely Guai has a good defense.
They've been rattled. You can see that Fish God not even like trying to like hold the wave here. Is that dancing back and forth between mid and bottom constantly, allowing the initial hit in the first place. I think they gotta utilize Lung a little bit better here, right? They have to set up a perimeter, and they only need to make sure that Lung throws muddles in a funnel or a choke point designated spot. And I think that's the problem right now. Definitely Guai are trying to play too free flow when they need to kind of figure out exactly how the fight looks like. They've already figured out how to deal with the Fatal Links. They've already figured out how to deal with the Kashi. At this point, the real game changer really is Shin, despite him being 1, 4, and 5.
Yep. So right now, Entity 7, honestly, like, as long as they're able to get Zhaoxi, they're looking pretty good. Oh, hold on. Concealed use. Hide on bush. Does he find anyone? Can he? Oh, he goes for Zhaoxi. Zhaoxi is basically dead here. Tries to get away. Able to get the immortality in time, but now 2 people got caught. And now Yuan gets taken out. A kick coming in. Zhaoxi kills Hide on bush. Zed able to turn that around for Definitely Guai. Fish God does not hesitate with that flicker. Wastes the Zop. Hold on, Zed. Does he really want to go for this? I don't think so. Do they just want to delay this so that the minions can possibly end the game? What's the plan here, Definitely Guai?
I think it was just to delay them at this stage. It really was just to delay them. Man, I can't believe Hide on Bush needed the extra bit of damage, and he uses his Finch poise to get back into the fight, which ended up killing him anyways. He's got to trust that his crit rate is high enough to get the kill. That's truly it, because he's already 2-hitting Zhaoxi.
Oh, Zhaoxi goes in. He still gets the Lord. He might trade his life. That was a very risky play coming in from Zhaoxi. Now Fish Dog gets taken down as well. Looks like Ewan is able to deter them from moving forward, but Zhaoxi tries to dodge by Traceless inside of the Lord pit. That's a decision.
Oof. I mean, at least he got the Lord, right? At the end of the day, that's what matters. It bought them an extra little bit of time, even though they didn't have any waves in the right positions. And honestly, they probably should have just played for the fight at the end of the day. But now that Entity 7 has gotten to a point where they've actually scaled, the fight isn't as easy to play for. And Entity 7 knows that they can break the battle lines because they've got Downflame Guai every single time in a 5v5. It feels like DFYG are the ones who are currently against the ropes. Like, they have to do the head movement. They have to dodge the big haymakers, even though they're the ones with the loaded guns.
The biggest problem right now is actually that Atlas, because the Atlas keeps on catching, I would say, crucial members of Definitely Guai, and showing me a lot of interaction I didn't know was possible.
Hey man, as long as you hold on to that ult, a lot of things can actually happen here. And not to mention that he also has his flicker, so he's incentivized to make a big play of his own. Ideally, he wants to catch Lung and Zhaoxi and Yiwan in one ult, but 2 out of the 3, 1 out of 3 should be worth it. And now the winner crowns are starting to come in, so now you don't have to worry too much about reacting to it as often. Just the press of a button and you're safe.
Right now, the endless battles coming in from both Hide on Bush as well as Zhaoxi. I was thinking whether they want to sell their Malefic gun for something else, because that is something that we've seen in MSC, where out of all the items, looks like the penetration items is something that both teams are comfortable, or at least Ling is comfortable to take out, because Berserker Fury does do true damage now, so you kind of don't need that penetration as long as you have enough crit. But I don't know, I'm still very 50-50 whether Berserker Fury heroes still need that penetration or not.
I mean, with the composition, like, it really comes down to, like, what you're trying to kill. If you're trying to kill Yiwan, Zhaoxi, and Lung, it makes a lot of sense to eventually, like, give it up and then go into something to increase your crit rate, like GDS, or even, like, Windtalker, arguably, depending on, like, whether you're trying to push or whether you're actually trying to get extra movement speed after the Tempest of Blades. But either ways, his first 2 autos already are kind of disgusting, and not to mention that his Divine Swords really hurt. I think that for DFYG, they just have to slow down for a moment, right? It's really on Entity 7 who has to attack them rather than the other way around. If they just respond correctly, it's usually fine.
Right now looks like one good catch here. Penguin tries to get away, and now even Flicker used by E1 trying to get Doom still survive. Tom, able to get one. He's still surviving, able to get Shin. Shin is out of the battle, but same as Fish God. All the while we see Zhaoxi trying to get Doom. Not enough. Double kill for Hide on Bush. Lung is all alone dealing with Akashi. And that might have been a throw coming in from Feng Guai, breaking up their battle lines. Trying to get creative with it, but I don't know about that.
Hey man, it's the Entity 7 passive. They are getting that concussive blast down and rattling brains of Dian Guai, who it seems like there's a communication breakdown of what needs to happen for the front and back, and Lung is just not communicating that, hey, he's thinking that he can kill Akashi no problem, but if he doesn't have Muddles right on top of him with max stacks on I don't think that's actually not easy. It's just people. That's what they're like keeping a phenomenal job of keeping no public like even now. And something he gets more worried about here is the walk over the top of the contestant in all that initial build up that he had is kind of gone down again. Yes, he still does a good amount of damage, but he needs to set up from Z to find it.
It's just one of those games where you want to can, you know? You have the stats to back it up. Right now, it's all on Entity 7. Like, this is their game to lose. If they somehow botch this push, 3 members dying, and then that's the end. Guai can push it all the way through. So now, Penguin has to play perfectly. At this point, even if he catches one, based on how Guai has been reacting, even if he gets one, that's more than enough. Because you know Guai, everyone will throw everything away, and then they'll just dive in, and then give a lot of space for both Doom and Hide on Bush to get the skills.
And now, they first have to third one problem at a time. They got to deal with this super empowered lord, right? 22 minutes into this game, he needs to start chunking out the people in front by utilizing Muddles. Hold on.
Penguin catches one, able to get Zhaoxi still has the immortality, tries to get away. E1 tries to help, but the better S like able to delay long enough. Hide on Bush gets taken down, shut down. Zhaoxi gets the final kill. Doom as well. Entity 7 is throwing the game here. Shut down for Lung. Akashi tries to save it, but he's gonna get taken down as well. And now it's just Shin and Penguin. Only E1 is out of the battle. But look at the waves. Entity 7 might still survive this one. Oh my goodness gracious. Yep. Maybe I should not. Maybe I should not call the throw before it happens.
You shouldn't call the throw before it happens, my God, because Entity 7, they threw everything at Dian Guai. This was before. Wait, hold on.
Well, looks like Penguin got caught, and now she even gets stunned. He even took the wrong hold. It's game over. They should be able to end it now. 15 seconds for Hide on Bush as long as they just tank the turrets. Actually, maybe Hide on Bush can defend this. No, he can't. That's it, GG. Guai moves on while Entity 7 goes to the lower brackets. Well, they may or may not fight against Team Spirit.
Holy, one of the longer games that we've seen here today. A series that pushed it right to the very edge. Unfortunately, desperation brings the worst out of the human race. Final Games already providing you guys quality gameplay here, and this victory, at least at the bare minimum for Dian Guai, a huge sigh of relief. But I think that both teams, they need to refine their gameplay. They played the early to mid really well, but once we got to the late game, once it reset the goal lead for both sides multiple times, it just comes down to who has more tenacity, who has more discipline, and who can identify the situation better without as much information. Your gut instinct will tell you that. But unfortunately for Entity 7, their gut instinct told them that they gotta throw everything at the wall, and Dian Guai, the defense is good.
Actually, if I'm looking at the groups properly, this means that Guai actually qualifies all the way through, even if they win or lose against Team Falcon's PH. Looks like you get to the upper bracket, like that's, I don't know, kind of an extra scrim for you because you're automatically qualified. Interesting.
That's pretty nice. No, many tournaments allow you to have that, but especially with teams of this caliber, it's been a pretty difficult one. But these fights, especially in the current metagame, has been rather insane. Like most people are looking at the screen and they're just seeing like just a bunch of flashing lights in a lot of awkward moments. And I think that when we are thinking about the chain of events that need to happen, a lot of it boils down to if you have tempo. And I think that both Entity 7 and Gotf and Guai, they understand what to do early to mid when they have the lead. It's the late game. How do they close out games? How do they set up for these end game scenarios? And more importantly, the timings of the waves, so that when they do decide to try and initiate, or at least try to zone away targets from inhibitors, what are the most important ones? And I'll tell you right now, it's not Vanguard. They could have thrown Akashi many times before, and as long as he holds on to his flicker, there's definitely a moment in that game where Vanguard or Akashi can get right on top of low.
Yeah. At this 7, I would say they still have a few things to fix here, because if they will be going up against Team Spirit fights very fast. Using a scaling comp like this will be very risky. Same for definitely Guai as well. I feel like for a team to be able to win digital GOF here, they really got to make sure that once they have a lead, they can keep it and then end the game as quickly as possible before your opponent has a chance to come back. Because at this point, yes, you're moving forward, you're jumping up the ranks, that's great. But you got to think about how you want to become a champion, and they just got to be able to be, holding on to that lead and then ending the game as fast as possible.
Yeah, it's just being composed. I think if anything, learning from Team Spirit is how to set up the end game scenario off of very minute things like, whether or not you can hit a power spike, whether or not you can actually find not only the opportunity to calculate just enough damage to maximize what your composition is trying to do. Because Gotf and Guai actually had a couple of moments there where D1 was so strong that no matter who Zed eventually was going to kick, as long as you check the items and they don't have an Athena shield, you're more than likely to actually eliminate the target altogether. Wow, double cross stop coming from Zed at the very end there, just to make sure, hey, you're not going to see my entire toe tank build.
I mean, to end the game, I feel like, what you call it?